Okay, greetings, Alpha students. So this is going to serve as our third Photopea lesson, and I am coming to you a little late today because I've been super busy all day. So that means I'm going to postpone the assignment deadline before class on Monday. So you've got quite a bit of time in which to complete this. So that's a good thing. So here we go. I'm going to show you what we did today in class, and it is the following in this order. So let's see. Let me bring up some of the things that we did. Okay, so we started like this, beginning of class. I added a stroke. Then I added another type text layer, as you see, where it says 46th president. Okay. And then I added an ellipse shape, which becomes a circle when you hold down the shift key. And then finally, I added 2021. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do all those elements right now. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and group these layers. You don't need to know how to do that just yet. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide that one. I'm going to lock these two things. And what else am I going to do? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trash the effects because I want to re-show that. Okay, so this was our starting point. So the first thing we did was we came over to the Joe Biden layer, and I said, double click the right side of that layer, not over here. Okay, if you double click the T, that allows you to edit. You know, you can change the font, color, all those things. But I don't want you to double click that T. I want you to double click the right side of this layer. So I'm going to do that now. When you do that, you get the layer styles dialog box. Okay. I don't like to put the dialog box right in front because you won't see what's going on. So you move it over, and then we look for stroke, and it's right here. Now, if you just do the check mark, it's not enough. So you got to highlight. You got to actually highlight, make it dark gray here, and then you'll look at the options you have. Currently, the size of the stroke, and by the way, a stroke is an outline around those letters. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so if I were to increase the size of the stroke, you can see it's reflected here. Now, I think we had a starting point of 20, but let's change the color first. So you got to click on this red sample. That's the default color. I'm going to bring it down to black, and I'm going to click OK. Remember, you got to come down here to the lower left. That'll give it a black color. You can also, which would probably be easier, you could also add the preset colors that you see along here. As you see, white actually looks pretty good. In fact, I'm gonna go with white. I'm gonna click OK. And then I think we said 20, so I can just type in 20. And if you feel like yours needs a bigger or smaller font size, then go for it. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy because that's just not what we want. So I'm gonna again put in 20. Okay. The position is outside, just by contrast, you can see here's center position, here's inside position. So if you want any one of those three, then go for it. I like the fat font, so I'm going to put my stroke to the outside. Keep the blend mode at normal and the opacity at 100%. And then I'm going to just click OK. And then EFF, as you see here, stands for effect. Okay. All right, next, I'm going to go ahead, first lock this layer. Then I'm going to go up to Joe, the Joe layer, and I'm going to get my type tool, and I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm just going to click, hold, and drag right about here. Okay, now we have a text box. Okay, now currently the size of the text, as you can see where I'm hovering, is way too big. So I'm going to drop that down to, let's see, maybe 30 to begin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 46, and obviously 30 pixels is not big enough, but we'll adjust that. President. Okay, I'm keeping it all caps because I think it looks good that way. Now I'm going to change the color to black. I mean, just use that preset color right here. Click OK. And then I'm just going to take my cursor and put it right on the word size. I'm going to click, hold, and drag across. Now, we don't want it too close to the top edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it really close. In fact, I'm going to make the look a little bit different. I'm going to put it right above Joe and then maybe resize it just a touch. You know, I showed you one thing in the class, during class, and it wasn't bad. But you know what? It's okay to change your mind. But we do want the text box above our headline. Okay? So I like what I see there. Now I'm not going to put a stroke. I think it doesn't need it. We don't want to overdo the same effect. Okay? We want that variety. All right. So that's the second thing we did. The third thing we did was we came over here all the way down the toolbar and we looked for the ellipse shape. And there it is. So if I were to drag out an ellipse right here, okay, without holding shift, it's going to give you this ovally shape, which actually is an ellipse. But I'm hold down shift, move my mouse a little bit, and it will create that circle for you. Okay, I'm going to put it right about here, and I'm going to overlap his shoulder a little bit. Overlapping is a good design principle. Now, I don't want red. How do I change the color? I come over here to the layers palette, double click on the tiny thumbnail picture. Okay, and then I think I did like sort of a pale yellow. We don't want it to pop out too much. I'm going to click OK. Let's see, there, that's a better yellow. I'm going to click OK. And good enough. The last thing we did was add another text to sit right in the center of the circle. I'm going to turn off the shape. I'm going to lock it, and then I'm going to add a layer. By doing that, you won't get any part of this shape to influence the text box. I'm just going to simply click one time. That'll just bring up a type layer. You don't have to make a text box for a single word. In fact, you shouldn't. And I'm going to type in the year 2021. And then I'm going to double click the tiny T in the layer box, the layers palette, and that will highlight my text. And I'm just going to make it a little bit larger. Now I should bring up the shape so I can see the size of that shape. That'll give me an idea of what size to make it, but I think that's a good size. Now, if I want it to be perfectly centered, look what I do. Oh, and by the way, I didn't need to add a layer because when you click on the type, when you click on the canvas with your type tool, it'll automatically create its own type layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this down to the trash can. You can do it that way, or you can just hit the trash can and it'll disappear. Now, I want this completely centered above. Here's how you do it. You're going to hold down the control key and you can click both layers at the same time, but you got to unlock shape 2. I got to unlock it by clicking that lock again. You see that? But then I'm going to come up here. Look right here. If I hover over it, it says center horizontally. I'm going to do that. You see how it shifted a little bit? And then right here, it says center vertically. I'm going to do that. And there, it's perfectly centered. Okay. So that was pretty much our lesson today. I hope this helps. Please don't hesitate to email me for questions, but really what you should do is just watch the video and pause it and rewatch a step, okay? That shouldn't be a problem. Have a great weekend, guys.